Welcome back to Let's Play Dark Souls 2. Last time I think we fought the last giant.
Yeah.
And this time we're gonna take on the next boss, hopefully. Come on.
Huh?
What?
Oh, never mind. I'm gonna make a joke. Oh,
How did that even hit me through that jump attack?
magic.
I've been playing a game called Bound by Flame lately, which is really making me appreciate backsteps, because that's the only dodge you can do in the game.
Jesus.
So just attack, attack, backstep, attack, attack, backstep. Which is better than, because in that game you basically switch on the fly between the tank and melee DPS roles. You always have access to magic, whichever attack mode you're in. And I'm always in the rogue mode because the warrior... I don't like playing a generic warrior character in most action RPGs because you still need to heal so much even if you're blocking.
Right.
Because it's like, here, you can block, but you don't get a shield. You're blocking with your greatsword.
Yeah.
So your only real option is to farm for tainted blood, which is the material you make health potions out of. I mean, it's an interesting game. It's one of those games that I think might actually be underrated, if anything, because it was critically panned, apparently.
Huh.
I picked it up because it was in the Spiders RPG pack, who are the developers. They also made Mars Warlogs, which is kind of a budget Mass Effect. Fairy Legends of Avalon, which apparently is very JRPG-esque. I think they also made Of Orcs and Men, which nobody talked about. But I like it. Of course, I tend to like mediocre RPGs. I mean, I really like Gothic 4, and nobody likes that one.
You're just a man of unfavorable opinions, aren't you, Ken?
Well, I don't like Final Fantasy X. I think Persona 4 is a garbage game. So yeah. If I get a Vita TV, I'm still... Well, PlayStation
A Vita TV? What?
PlayStation TV, rather. It's basically a console Vita, if that makes sense. With an HDMI port, so... And I have a Roxio game cap packed somewhere. Anyway, back to this game. You may recall that the last giant dropped a key and that this door was locked. So, giving us access to the area the next boss will be fought in. I really am not sure how much I like the wind-up they added to the shove in this game. Because in Dark Souls 1, if you could get it to work, which admittedly was kind of difficult, it was pretty much instant. Anyway, yeah. They kind of throw bosses at you in quick succession in this game, I notice.
Yeah. Weird.
I need to switch my weapons. And this boss actually has a cutscene. I mean,
So did last giant.
one that's more than just a character getting up.
This is him getting down. No. Getting down. That's bad.
Why can't the eagle just carry them to more... Wait, wrong fantasy John. No, wrong friend. Bleh. Wrong
Fantasy genre.
fantasy franchise is actually what I meant to say.
Wow. You fucked up.
Okay, the Pursuer. This is that guy that I was considering actually trying to fight earlier. I didn't level up at all. I am exactly the same level as when he appeared the first time.
Now we're fighting on our turn. Theoretically, that should be level hit.
Yeah, if you can get him in the right position, you can actually hit him with those things.
Parry him.
Huh?
Parry him.
Parrying in this game is impossible.
I did it.
Ah. Yeah, I am a lot worse at this game than I am at the first one. If you couldn't tell. Hang it. I never actually made that work. Yeah, I think we saw it earlier, but with the blue sword attack, if he stabs you, he lifts you up and hits you with a burst of curse damage, which instantly... That's like a 1 death equivalent to your health bar, right?
I think so.
It's 1 or 2. Anyway, over here there's a giant tree. Huh. That's probably not important.
No.
I'm kidding, it's really important for the end game. Oh, it doesn't even say curl up like ball.
Curl up like ball.
Credit to team. But more importantly than progression, I think it's here I drop?
Yeah.
We have the Drangleic set. Sword and shield and all. The Drangleic sword is a great sword, if you couldn't tell from the stats required, but the Drangleic shield is just a regular shield and is 100% block. But it's a lot heavier than the large leather shield and requires 16 strength. The rest of the set is okay. I mean, it's better than the Wanderer set. I honestly spent most of the game in this set, partially for the cape.
Yeah, the cape's cool.
I am the most flamboyant looking character.
Olé.
Yeah, I'm actually taking significantly less damage, I think. Okay, that should not have actually hit. Yes, let me ram the pole of the spear into you, rather than the point. That's just as lethal. Oh, video game physics. Manslayer. That just sounds wrong.
Is Slayer of Man.
Sounds like something that you'd find on Amazon on accident, and it would taint your browsing history forever.
Yeah.
Oh, he also dropped the Ring
Blade.
of Blade. Yeah, that just boosts your damage.
Simple. like it.
Am I on the right... Yeah, I am on the right character, right?
Yeah. I remember because of the stupid monocle.
Yeah, because of the soul vessel.
Or to, you know, the character page.
Name. Why is there no name? Chance Carter. Okay. For some reason, I thought that I was on my scouting ahead character, which I probably should have actually used to scout ahead. Because I don't even remember which area is next. I think it's the tower area.
You can go to the Bastille, or you can
Yeah, the Bastille.
from, or you can continue from the whatchamacallit, the Tower of Flame, and head to the wharf.
Oh god, the wharf. I'm not gonna do the wharf until I'm better geared, because that place is annoying, both because of enemies and terrain. So I might as well make only the terrain a threat.
Yeah. Although if you have a torch, things are kind of easier.
No, even with the torch, that place is annoying.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, luckily it makes up for it with a really easy boss. I don't know, I kind of wish that more bosses in this game didn't have, like, the one trick. Speedrunners hate them. Because it kind of trivializes a lot of the boss fights that aren't already incredibly easy.
Wake up at the undead asylum. Fuck. You're fucked up.
Yeah, the Lost Bastille is actually a fairly easy and fun area, if memory serves. Though there is one part that's annoying to unlock an area, because it's almost RNG based.
Kinda don't like the boss here.
Also, look at those perfect shadows. That's something a lot of games get wrong. Okay, so... Oh, I didn't know you could actually do that. I thought you just clambered over. Anyway, oh, no. Oh, I thought he was actually going to hit me from here. That's why I was worried. I'm conflicted on a lot of things in this game, and one of those is the inability to level up at every bonfire.
I remember at one point you tried hunting it.
Like, I realize that it's a, Demon Souls reference, pretty much.
But it's a bit far to go just for reference.
I think it's more because Dark Souls, to make Dark Souls the weird one. This is probably a trap. Oh. No, this is, Lucatiel, I think.
Yep. What is it? AKA one of my favorite characters of this game.
Normally, people keep a safe distance when they see this mask. But you... I'm called Lucatiel. From the land of Mira to the far east, across the mountains. They say Dran Lake brims with powerful souls. And so I came to claim my share. What a strange place. Even the ruins did not prepare me. You are an odd one indeed. I've always made a point of avoiding people.
So yeah, we can summon her for some boss fights. Does she have any more? Yeah, she makes some really annoying boss fights a lot less annoying. I love just watching the shadows sometimes.
Sounds like something an artsy person would say. Sometimes I like watching the shadows. They show how
Okay.
I feel.
I'm not gonna bother with that annoying side path there just yet. If I can avoid it. Yeah. Hooray for staggering. Ow. And that is why I don't like the slow healing of Estus flasks. Let's see. Oh, you had to go this way. It's been a while. My memory is not great of this game. I don't think you can backstab these guys.
I don't think you can, but they're kind of just easy to kill.
Oh, one thing about, wait, they can drop, what? They can drop sorceries? Or is it pyro? There are some fire sorceries and some pyromancies. I didn't know they could drop pyromancy. Yeah, Lingering Flame is a cool one. You basically leave a landmine floating in the air.
So it's an air mine.
Shh.
Mine.
Mine. Let's see. Now, I'm making a point of holding on to the Dragon Rider soul, because at least I think that's the right boss soul.
What are you looking for?
The bow.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Because I'm pretty sure that bow scales with intelligence because it has some magic damage on it.
We just will have a boat too. So you know how to get to the bonfire up ahead, right?
That's the annoying part, right?
Yep. It's one that you need mad jukes for.
Okay, so... Ooh, gold pine resin. Okay, get out of the way of the bit. This gives you early access to a certain character, right?
I think so.
Or do you need the key?
I mean, you do meet a character in there.
Yeah, but I'm just not sure if you need the key as well as blowing up the wall. Spoilers, you blow up a wall. Okay, let's back up. And try things again. Because that barrel is necessary. Ow. Oh, come on. I'm not even gonna waste an Estus on that.
Not even.
Video game physics.
That's the different ball.
Yeah, these dogs are way less of a threat than in Dark Souls 1. because there's not a boss accompanied by 2 of them. Okay. I want to guide him away from the barrel. Okay, I need an Estus after that. Then I just need to make sure that... Okay. I might want to take out the dogs.
Yeah, you don't need the key.
Locked, huh? Let's hope this works, because the physics in this game can be janky.
Just make sure you're center.
And yeah.
Thing.
Da 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 da. Come on, you had to know that one was coming.
Yeah.
Ha ha. I think you can if you have like a stab attack. Oh well. Wait. Hang on. First of all, loads of treasure. Bleh.
Trap. Sure.
I was halfway through saying treasure and wanted to stop and say chest. Both would be accurate, but none of it is major aside from the Titanite shards, I'm pretty sure. Wrong side. Yeah, Titanite here important. Bolts, not really. Excuse me?
Excuse me, Mike. Fuck you, second.
We've got a while over here. Shadow, I say. I say yes. That's the way. Dear friend, how bright we burn.
This is a really convoluted pseudo-puzzle. So to get him to move, and subsequently Smith, you have to waste a little bit of your torch to light this torch. And then stay at the bonfire again, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And then he'll move over to this flame. And he'll also get off of the iron chest. Now, this guy is really important because, well, he allows you to ascend your weapons to an element.
I ought to fetch you under flame, dear flame. I ought to fetch you.
Wait, you need to bring him the ember?
Yeah.
Oh. And that's from the character who's totally not Gwyn, right?
I think so.
Well, at least I've got that done for now. And I've got Twinkling Titanite in case I want to upgrade it. Oh yeah, it's Twinkling Titanite for boss weapons and unique weapons now, huh?
Yeah, I think so.
Because, there's no Demon Titanite. I should go level up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a lot more composed in my playthrough of Dark Souls 1 because I was so much more used to it. This is basically how I played through Dark Souls 2 my first time. Alright, we need an attunement slot, that's important. A little bit of... I don't like putting points into vitality that much, but it does increase equip load, so I'll go up to 49 equip load. 2 endurance and vigor just to keep myself survivable, and points in dex. Because the scimitar is primarily a dexterity weapon, and I do want to increase my casting speed. Let's go back to Macduff's workshop.
Macduff? Oh,
Wasn't Duff like the beer from The Simpsons or something?
I was gonna go with a Macbeth reference, but okay. Yeah.
Yeah, if for some reason you want to farm these 200... No, these are better than the 200 soul items. These 600, I think, soul items, the dogs actually do drop them. Ha ha.
Right.
Now, coming up here is a part of this area I detest. In fact, it might be my least favorite room in the entire game. And I mistakenly called it a side path.
Yeah, it's a good thing we're getting that out of the way now then. That way we don't have any more.
I mean,
like,
that takes
leaking.
us to the easiest of the Lord Soul bosses, I think, so...
Yeah.
As soon as you open this door, you want to run. Or do you have to go in like
You
an
have to go in.
inch?
Trust me.
You hear
Yeah.
that? That's the collective sound of the entire game coming to ruin your day.
Phoenix, man.
Wait, why did only 3 come out here? There are like 9, aren't there?
Weird.
Oh, because I didn't go in far enough. This is the most... I almost want to call it poorly designed, because it's... There's no way to tell that this is going to happen. Like,
Yeah.
people will argue, oh, Hellkite Wyvern, there were burns on the bridge. Yeah, they come through here. Let's see. And then when you go through here, there are even more. So your only chance of knowing what you're getting into your first time in this area is just player messages.
If you don't play online, you're fucked.
Ooh, Royal Swordsman gloves.
Bit heavier, but arguably better.
They're only slightly lighter than the Drangleic gauntlet, so I might as well put that on. Still fast rolling. Nope. I can't remember if this is a shortcut or what, but there's something you gain from coming over here at least once. Oh yeah, this is a shortcut to... Wow, why do I remember liking this area? This area is home to so many annoying parts.
Later part of this area is actually kind of fun.
We're coming up to the drums here. Oh, there's a ladder. Oh, hello.
And the guy coming up the ladder. Weird. Weird how shit works, doesn't it? I know there's a humanity at the bottom over there.
Let's see. Thought I saw an enemy go in here. I saw
Shut the
an
door
enemy-
behind him.
That would be a great... Like, it would be the reverse Lautrec situation. It's an enemy that'll kill you later on, so you trap him.
Ha, ain't getting out of this mess.
Also because I have no regard for pottery. Oh yeah, this door just drops you. Yeah, this area is full of poor design decisions. Why do I remember liking it? Because it's Sinner's Rise that houses the boss. Isn't there supposed to be a summon here?
Yeah, if you're human.
Oh, I forgot you have to be fully human for that. I thought it was just as long as you weren't... Okay. Shield.
Shield. Ugh.
It censored Shield
south.
Knight. That's... This is the one I was thinking of. Pilgrim Belclair. I don't think you ever... This is one of those few summons you'd never meet again, isn't it?
Right.
Let's summon... Oh, now it's J.J. Smythe. Oh, come on.
Come on, Kevin.
They've got a mace. They know what they're doing.
Are we gonna join?
It looks like Belclair is limping.
Yeah.
I never noticed that.
You see that entire like thing looks like that's Hulk Hogan would do. Hey, brothers. What's good?
Okay, the Ruined Sentinels. Possibly one of the most annoying bosses in the game. You're gonna hear me say that a lot. There are a lot of bosses that are annoying. Why am I using the longsword instead of... Oh, because the scimitar is almost dead. Oh no, that is terrible. Yahim fell off. Diving attack! So pretty much this is a DPS race.
I know.
Though the fact that Pilgrim Belclair seems to use greater soul arrows speeds things up quite a bit. No, that was a crystal soul arrow. What?
She good.
No, that is a crystal soul arrow, right?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, this is why, by the way... Wait, I thought there was a bonfire closer to them.
Nope. This is the closest one.
Wait, why did I... No, I want to...
Ken,
What?
are we doing all bosses?
Aside from the one that's an entire covenant. Like the boss of the covenant, basically.
One that's just like as it was.
Like the dungeon crawl covenant or whatever it amounted to.
Oh, the
Dark, whatever.
the dark race.
They weren't dark wraiths, all they did was crawl through the dungeons. and then fight the boss after the third one.
I hear it's one of the best bosses in the game.
If by... Is this best as in from the people who love dying?
Best design. Not like as in like
I've never
like Dead
fought
Space.
that boss, that's the thing. So I'm terrified of it.
And I've seen Lobos do it a few times and it seems pretty easy. But then again, he doesn't-
That barrel explodes? Today we learned. That particular barrel explodes. And like pretty much every other set of enemies in the game, aside from a few that give unique drops, you would have to fight all 6 all over again. Painful Hiccup sounds like one of those indie metal bands that has like ridiculous names. Man, backstabs are so much harder to do in this game, but they're so much more satisfying. Because it's more than just one hit. But they're also slightly more dangerous because of that, in what I consider to be a good way. Oh yeah, so while I go through the endless grind of this boss fight... Oh, I forgot there was down... What? I'm confused now. I thought there was something on the middle section here then. Anyway, since this is going to be a kind of a grind, trying to get through, then how do you... This isn't the only path to the boss, I know for sure.
You can go downstairs. Here, jump this way.
By the way, I'm using terrible weapons for a buff build. If you're going for a build based around using buffs like magic weapon and stuff, you actually want a rapier weapon because they put emphasis on number of hits rather than damage per hit. And a lot of the buffs are flat damage bonuses. Okay, let me try this. Anyway. Because the rest of this boss is pretty self-explanatory. Oh. Explanatory. Let's use this time to talk about the Steam sale. Because I got some stuff. Some of which might be LP'd.
Now, what is the KPK you got me?
8-Bit Boy. It's just a fun little platformer. Like, it's not one of those super hardcore types, it's just a platformer. Although 1-3 is kind of hard for me. Also, I love how it's just, whoop, drop you down. Bosses actually, I think their health scales based on how many people are in the arena. Or at least something to make it so that co-op isn't the only objective best way to win. Oh, come on. Okay, Belclair, don't fall down yet. No. So that was a soul spear. No, Belclair.
Biff. Oh, is that a Biff?
Wasn't Biff the guy in Back to the Future?
Oh, that is actually kind of relevant this year.
Remake where everyone is always on their phone and gets offended by everything.
That's when movies get too realistic.
It's best to just fight one and let Belclair take out the other once it gets down to the Rise and Alessia. Or however you say it. By the way, these enemies, hope you enjoy fighting them. They show up later in the game as regular enemies.
I like the Taurus Demon.
Only these guys are actually a challenge. I buffed the wrong weapon, also. No! I was running!
You didn't run to the side. Horror movie 101.
Or Prometheus, apparently. Anyway, Steam sale. Obviously this was a pickup during it. Let's see. I feel like there were a few I bought before today.
I remember you mentioning any.
Yeah, I never mention when I buy things unless it's like a GameStop deal or something. I might be thinking of the GameStop stuff, though. But I know I got something with Dark Souls 2. Had to have been something small, though, because I remember I got a Steam card or something. But I also got Final Fantasy 13 on the last day of the sale, which I'm gonna go into with an open mind. Like, I'll acknowledge, okay, this is going to be linear. There's no real NPC dialogue, it's just overhearing things, but they kind of did that with Final Fantasy VIII as well. Apparently. I picked up 8-Bit Boy because I wanted it when it came in a bundle, which was around when it came out, but nobody was trading it, and I didn't want to buy the whole bundle just for one game. And I also got the Strong Bad point and click, which I didn't realize was on Steam until today. It was one of the last good games Telltale made. Along with Sam & Max Season 3. I wish they would return to their former glory, but they make too much money with their stupid visual novels. Minecraft! Why?
Yeah, the Minecraft one is kind of bullshit.
Like, okay, Walking Dead. Walking Dead, okay, that kind of makes sense. I mean, it's focusing more around the universe set up in the comic books rather than the TV show, so that kind of helps sell that. Oh, come on. Game of Thrones. Okay, I can kind of see that one, but not really. Because, I mean, the thing is, like, games like that kind of require the main character to be a hero type, which doesn't make sense for Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is not a story of heroes. We all know there are no heroes there. let's see, what else did they do? Tales from the Borderlands. Borderlands is not story driven at all. That makes no sense to me, why they did that. I'm not counting like, oh, because it makes money.
I mean, I'm looking forward to it just to see what it brings to like the whole Borderlands universe.
Like, the Borderlands universe is interesting, but I don't want a whole game focused on fleshing that out, if that makes sense. The main reason you raise adaptability, by the way, is for poise and agility, which increases iframes. I guess I just pump points into dex and one into strength. Let's see, that's Walking Dead, Borderlands, Wolf Among Us. Okay, that's an original story completely, isn't it? Not based on a comic or anything.
It's based on fairy tales.
Yes, but like the story itself is original. Like,
Right.
like that kind of thing. At least they're working on a new IP. By the way, I'm just gonna go from the Tower of Flame to the wharf. Forget the drums. I need an easy boss.
Oh, so we're doing
Yep.
oh boy.
But yeah, I'm not a fan of Telltale's more recent stuff. I mean, apparently The Walking Dead at least tried to have some gameplay, aside from what amounts to QTEs where you make decisions. Yeah. Oh, there's a Monastery Charm, which is... I think that's a... like... It shares... Oh, that's... the Monastery Charms are copies of Dragon Charms, I think. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm also not especially a fan of Game of Thrones, but it's not like I dislike it, it's just not my thing. Walking Dead, not my thing. As far as the TV shows and comics and books and stuff. Like, I can see how people would like them. But when it comes to the glorified visual novels, I just don't get it. Because people hate QTEs and other things.
See,
What is a troc? Anyway, dark trocs. Trocs.
Trope. I mean, I can look it up.
Nah, it's not that important. It's just... I assume that it's some sort of berry to fit in with the other resistance increasing items. But yeah, like... It's kind of like... Maybe The Walking Dead and Game of Thrones and Minecraft story mode would be okay if it weren't for the fact that they were made by an established studio who had a very specific way they made games, which was traditional point-and-click adventures, who completely changed gears. Like, I recognize that Persona 4 might not have been as bad if it were a new IP that just had Persona 3's mechanics. But instead, they go from a series that while a lot of the dialogue was entertaining and at times quite funny, the overall story was still rather dark and the atmosphere was fitting to pretty much JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4, apparently. That's what it is, from what I've heard. Only with even more high school friend time. Ugh. Because Persona has always kind of aped JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Because Personas are stands. They just are. In fact, I think there are a few references, like direct references to the manga in the series. Especially like with the fixation on the tarot cards, specifically the major cards. For some reason, I thought there was something back there. God, I hate the water sound. I hate shallow water noises in games. But essentially, Persona 3 was an RPG with some life sim elements, by which I mean like daily life, not like, say, Harvest Moon. Persona 4 was a life sim with a bit of RPG thrown in, for good measure. Wait, where do I go from here? Am I going the wrong way? When does that person go to Majula?
Which person?
The person from the top of Hyde's tower.
You gotta talk to her.
Thought I did.
Talk to her repeatedly.
So that was pointless, except to get some armor I'm not going to use. And honestly, the characters in Persona 4 are boring. You're just upset because nobody has enough souls to buy your miracles.
The economy, man. Inflation and shit.
Then you wouldn't charge souls. Slight deviation from the script. She said go back home. It said go home. There are over 2,000 standing right in front of you, though. For some reason, I thought you actually kept going in order to... Why didn't I... Ugh, I'm probably not high enough level to fight Ornstein. I like how the Thorned Whip is very effective against bare flesh when you're always fighting enemies with armor.
Wait, why aren't we going to the wharf?
I thought that she turned the thing that let us go to the wharf here.
No, this is the money.
Alright, that's a much more difficult area.
Yeah.
With a much, much more difficult boss. Now I'm just...
Oh. Oh, yeah, that's the boss.
Granted, it's probably the coolest boss fight in the game.
Yeah.
The Souls games have this weird habit of making the final boss not feel like the final boss. Like, Dark Souls 1, I kind of felt like the Four Kings were the final boss. Or Manus, if you're playing through the DLC.
Which we never did.
Because that DLC is freaking hard, man. Sif doesn't drop a, Lord Soul. Like, Gwyn... Like, I understand why the Gwyn fight was so easy. Because it wasn't meant to be this grand, epic battle. It was just... He was burned away completely in the flame. He was dying.
We just set up that problem.
Pretty much. Especially considering we took the Dark Lord ending. Oh, I can kill them in a full... I mean, in a single stamina bar now. But yeah, to add to my already minor distaste for Persona 4 and its characters, Golden made the game an absolute joke. The way they refined the mechanics from 3 to 4 already made the game a little easier, and I feel like, you know, enemies had decreased stats, like the enemies that carried over. Like, the first dungeon, you fought easier bosses in comparison to the first dungeon of Persona 3. Well, first part of the dungeon. But they made complete rebalances, like giving the first major boss an elemental weakness, which is a major thing in Shin Megami Tensei because of the way the turn system works. Hit a boss's weakness, that character gets one extra turn. No, you can only get one more turn from that. But that boss was an absolute joke, even when it cast Ice Wall, because it was weak to ice, and Ice Wall raises the resistance. Well, the wall skills raise resistance to the respective element by 1, so like weak to neutral, to resist, to repel, to drain. At least I think that's how it works. It might just be it only goes to neutral or resistance. But that still wears off. So you get essentially a free all-out attack since it gets knocked down. You'll understand this a bit more in the once we do Persona 3, which is after this game. Because we need to finally get around to that. Okay, where do I go from here? I forget. Is it like an elusive wall?
No.
Because the door is busted.
Go back down. There. Ooh.
Gotta do that every time.
A Strange.
Oh. I always miss that hole in the wall. Are you ready? Hey, it's Lucatile. While you're at it, try and figure out where we get a catalyst, finally.
Be me or?
Yeah,
Well, I'm at what? What do you want me to research?
where you get a catalyst.
You said while you're at. So you want me to be doing something in the first place, and I haven't been doing shit. Except playing Smash. Idea what you're talking about, lady.
Kind of interesting that as soon as... Well, I might as well equip a, sorcery, huh? As soon as she forgot what she was saying, she talks about the whole memory loss part of Hollowing. Now, that's a common criticism of this game. They're a lot more explicit with how they explain things. Like, yeah, this happens, rather than they say, or rather than just implying it through, like, if she cut off and just looped her dialogue there, then that would have been more of a Dark Souls 1 thing. Like I said, this isn't a huge lore through, it's just... I figure I might as well bring it up when it's relevant. Dude. Well,
Thing. By the way, timestamp, whatever.
oh boy, we get to start the next area like this. Well, start the next episode in this area.
Yeah.
Fun. Also, I love how comically covered you get with the oil. Next time on Let's Play Dark Souls 2, Fisherman's Wharf. I don't like it, but I gotta do it. At least there's loads of loot to be had. See you guys then.